Hi, welcome, I'm Hannah, and today I'm super excited because I'm trying out a new palette, a new to me brand. This is the Mikayla palette from Glamlite. I might be like a good candidate to review this because I've actually never seen a video of hers in my life. I watch TikTok, but it's literally only funny animal videos. I know there's like beautiful, wonderful makeup artists on TikTok, but I feel like the whole like, this is me with no makeup, bam, this is me with a full face of makeup. It's like it goes by too quickly and like I want to see the look, you know? Like it's not, I feel like that's so much more about like the person looking better than it is like about the makeup, you know? Regardless, I've heard really good things about Glamlite throughout the years, but I've never really been tempted by any of their palettes until this one. They started out with all those like taco and pizza palettes, and it's so cool that they're like a cruelty-free and vegan brand, but as a vegan myself, the last thing that I want is to be using palettes that have like meat names. It's just like so not my thing. So now that they've been kind of like going into sweets more, I've been warming up to them a bit. This palette does have a shade called Buffalo Chicken, and I hate that. And I almost didn't buy this palette because of that. But I was kind of reminding myself that like after the initial using it or whatever, like I'm never going to be thinking about the shade names. And like I do just really like the look of this palette. So this is the outside of the palette. It has like this glitter that moves around. You know, it's really pretty because I do love lavender a lot and I love glitter, but it is kind of very heavy on the collab aspect just by having the name right there. I think if it had like a pretty design, it would be easier for someone like me who didn't buy this because of Mikayla to kind of like forget that it's a collab and just think of it as its own pretty palette that was, you know, curated by this artist. Fun fact though, when I was younger, I wish my name was Mikayla. And here's the inside. I don't know why I'm going so slow with this because like we know this. But I thought it was interesting in a lot of like new makeup releases videos that I watched, how many people were not happy with the first two rows. Like I heard from a couple different creators, I wish they just did the bottom of it. But for me, the top two rows being included was a big incentive for me to buy this. I love colorful eyeshadows, but like these are also the types of mattes that I love to correspond with those colorful eyeshadows to actually turn them into looks that I like to wear out. I love these peachy shades. I love the different depths of the browns in the first row. I could do without these two golds. I'm just not a big gold eyeshadow person. I would have preferred if one was maybe like a light champagne, that would be like an inner corner pop or something. And also there's these two deep purples, and I would have preferred if one was like a bright metallic pink or something like that. But either way, I think it's like a really kind of interesting combination of colors. It's just like, I could have seen myself making this palette too. I really love it. I love that they have this like unusual green. I love this bright mint and this bright pink. I love the blue. I've been like fantasizing about blue eyeshadow looks recently. So yeah, I'm going to try it out of my eyes and see if Glamlite lives up to the hype. I got my eyelashes done before I went on vacation and I have like 3 left over here and like 7 left over there. So please just ignore. So I put on my Anastasia eye primer already, and I haven't done much thinking about what kind of look I want to do. There's actually like so many looks that I see when I look at this palette. I love how many like corresponding metallics to mattes there are. There's so much that I want to do that it's hard to pick the one to do today. I'm thinking I might just do kind of like splotches of bold color and a shimmer or two in the lid. Yeah. So first I'm going to go into that green, this loop. It's kind of like a mossy olive. So there is some kick up in the pan, but that's totally fine with me. I mentioned before that I like pigmented shadows, and kick up or fallout is kind of like the price to pay for that in my mind. And that's also why I always go in my foundation after I do my eyes. So for me, it's no problem, and it looks super pigmented on my brush. All right, nice. That's a really pretty color. it went on really easily. And even though like I wouldn't have minded fallout of my face, this one made no fallout. Next, I'm going to go into Buffaloes and chickens. These look so like watercolory. And I think it's because like just patting it down, it just like blends into it. I didn't do that. Like that, that shadow did that itself. And then on the outer of my upper crease, I'm gonna go in with Iconic. This shadow, I'm so excited for. It reminds me of that Terra Moon's like hot pink neon, but it's like super powdery and not my favorite to work with. So I feel like I end up just not having a lot of this kind of shade in my collection. I feel like I can tell right away also that just like the slight blending with my brush doesn't make it lose any pigment. And for shades this bright, that's really a lot to say. Cool. Step 1 of weird splotches of bright color is complete. Okay, I think under that pink, I'm gonna go in with pot 2, this like really violet bright purple. Cool. And I think I do want to try out 2 of the shimmers. Originally, I was just gonna go in with this one, Manifest. I feel like it looks like a really interesting color, but I think I might actually not use it today. Well, I know for sure that under this olivey color, I want to go in with Stunning, which is the corresponding metallic. This looks really pretty on the brush. I feel like something that's like deterred me from buying palettes in recent months is that they're not as good as my indie single shadows. But I think Glamlite is. And I mean, they are an indie brand, it's just, I think of them differently as like the indie brands that only do single shadows, because they only do palettes. I think for my outer crease, I'm gonna go in with Immaculate. Of these 3 metallic purples, it's like the lightest one and it excites me the most. I love how sparkly these shimmers are. Especially considering I'm just going in with a dry brush right now. Most of the time that I do my makeup, I don't use as many colors at once, and I just go in with my finger for the lid. Nice. I'm just gonna pop on my base and come back for the lower lash line. Base is on, and I'm glad that I remembered, like, just in the nick of time that I bought the highlighter also. So I put on my blush, but I didn't put on highlighter, so I could do that on camera with you. For my lower lash line, I could do literally anything. And I think I want to try out that Manifest shade just because why not? Why not? I think maybe if I was wearing this on a normal day, I would put more of like the same on the bottom, but I'm just so excited to be trying this new brand and I want to try out more shades. So this one, this Manifest, it kind of looks like a multi-dimensional lavender. Like, I would say it looks like a lavender, a slate lavender with multicolored specks or something. I don't know. I don't know if I'm giving it too much credit, but I'm going to stick that just in the inner half of my lower lash line. And if it really doesn't go with the look, I could always cover this up again. Ooh. I was nervous also because I feel like sometimes with this kind of shade, it looks really cool in the pan and then it just doesn't translate well when you have it on such like a small surface area. But I think even right there, that looks special. I can't believe how well these shimmers are going on with just like any old brush also. I still have some of my most used brushes kind of like packed up from my trip, and I'm using this like, it's this Sigma E47 shader crease brush. It's kind of like a long fluffy shader brush. wouldn't be my first choice for packing onto the lower lash line like that, but it worked. I think for my outer part, teal or purple? Teal or purple? I'm gonna do teal because I want to add something else into this. So I'm going to do Freetown, which is like this deep sea teal. It looks way more navy on first application. Interesting. But I don't hate it. Usually I hate navy shadows, mostly just because of a scarring Juvia's Place incident when I tried to use like a navy and it just like fell all over my face and there was no repair, there was no cleaning it up, there was no covering it up. But these shadows still, zero fallout. Okay, I'm gonna go over the teal with a little bit of this Audrey also. I feel like in the pan, it looks too blue. Actually, no, this is looking really navy right now. Maybe I just don't know what I'm talking about. I was gonna say this looks too blue to be its corresponding shimmer, but maybe on the eyes it will. But I feel like looking at this right now, this looks more blue and this looks more teal, so maybe I'm just losing my mind and you should ignore me. I'm gonna use the same brush again. Oh yeah. It's like a starry night sky. Cool. Hello. Good, how are you? Yes, I can hear you just fine. I don't remember where I was, but I'm assuming I was just like oohing and aahing and about to put on the highlighter. It has been like 20 minutes, and it's interesting that, I guess just from like the creases in my eyes and I was like smiling and talking, there was a little bit of transfer from that, and I feel like that's something I'm not really used to. I don't really mind, but I think that is noteworthy, just because I've never noticed eyeshadow transfer on my lower lash line before. So that's cool. That was an impromptu wear test. So this highlighter, I filmed a video like over a month ago about all my highlighters, and I've had it kind of like stowed away to post, and I just haven't done it yet. And I feel like rewatching that is going to convince me that like, why did I buy this? But she did say that she is very fair and it's hard for her to find a highlighter that's fair enough. And I feel like I've been having that issue recently because I've become like even more sensitive to when you see a highlighter like that dark spot from the front. Like I want it to really camouflage in my skin and then just shine on the side. So her saying that inspired me to get this. It is in like a cardboard packaging. And I mean, I guess the thing with cardboard packaging is like, with the palette, I didn't think at all about the fact that this is cardboard packaging because it doesn't feel cheap. And I know cardboard packaging is better because then it's like recyclable and, you know, I'll choose better for the environment over like slightly nicer any day. But it is interesting that with this, I got it and my first thought is, oh, cardboard packaging. Like it feels very cheap in a way, but like it's fine. It's fine. I'm just kind of like saying all my words. So this is the highlighter. It looks very gorgeous. I think it does look like a white champagne, which is probably what I need. Nowadays also, I like my highlighters to be kind of more glossy and less like a white powder. I feel like I'm just getting like pickier and pickier with highlighters. But we'll try this one out and see how it goes. I have this Royal and Landnickel brush from when I did Ipsy years ago. It's like a good small fluffy brush. Huh. My first thought was that maybe this is almost too white, but then I turned to the side and I'm like, I like it. Look at that, there's nothing. It's like I don't have highlighter on at all. Oh no, wait, I do. Wait, do I? Yeah, I do. Did I forget my highlighter? Oh no, there she is. All right, now I'm seeing it a little bit from the front. Maybe I spoke too soon, but I think I like it. Yeah, first impression of this is I am excited about it, but then I'm nervous that it looks too icy from the front. And then I'm nervous that like the creasing of my eyeshadow on my lower lash line is kind of just making me look like greasy and sloppy. And I have dry skin, okay? Okay, cute. I could use this on my inner corner, but I think maybe I'll use the pink from the palette. Yeah, it might be a little deep, but I'm going to use this pink called Simping. Yeah, it's definitely like bold enough of a pink that it's like a look to have it on the inner corner. It doesn't just like blend in, but it works. I feel like back in the day it was like a necessity for me in a palette to have like a really light like white or cream shimmer to have as an inner corner. And nowadays like I'm fine enough having my highlighter in my inner corner or like one of my single shadows. I might actually dab a little bit of the highlighter over it because it's a little bit harsh right there. And I'm worried it's taking away from the look of the eyes. Did that soften it up or is it in my head? I am going to try to take a little powder and clean that up. I'm going to pop on a little eyeliner and stuff too. And I actually do have a Glamlite lip product that I will be right back for. So in Mikayla's collection, she did have a gloss, or I think it was a gloss set. I don't know if they were available individually, but there were 3 of them. And she had said that they were unscented because that's what she prefers. And I'm kind of the opposite. If something has a scent, it just makes me like it even more. So I picked up one of the older glosses. This is Caramel. I actually got the hot chocolate one also, but I'll show that in like my haul video that I haven't filmed yet, but I hope will be up before this one. But yeah, today I'm gonna use Caramel. It looks really pretty. It looks like it has some shimmer in it, which isn't always my favorite because I feel like sometimes that can compete with shimmers on my eyes, which I always have. But the color of it looks really pretty. And I don't know how pigmented it is. I'm gonna go in without a lip liner or anything because I do prefer to just wear lip gloss on its own. It has just like a regular flat doe foot brush. Oh, it smells really good. It smells like warm candy. Cool. It is a little peachy for this look, but I like it. It has just the right amount of pigment that I feel like it could go either way. If I put this over like a more mauvey liner, I would imagine it would kind of transform it a bit, but it's pigmented enough that on its own, it still has color and it doesn't look like I need a lip liner. So yeah, this is the look. I am so impressed. I feel like this palette totally lived up to the hype of the brand, just in how like pigmented the mattes are. I can't believe that there was no fallout other than that like creasing issue in the lower lash line, which I am a little concerned about. I do feel like I need to keep my eye on that, but that's really like my only downside at this point. These shimmers with a brush, incredible. So pretty. I really like it. And just the fact that with this palette, it's like such an all-in-one palette for me. Maybe I should mention also, I do prefer larger palettes. I feel like the trend nowadays, like I hear a lot of creators that I watch talking about how they love these small curated palettes, but then I feel like those are like one note and I feel restrained, and that makes me want to go into my single shadows even more, where I have like an endless plethora of shadows. If I'm using a palette, I want to just use one palette. If I have to reach for a highlighter for my inner corner, fine. Or in some cases like a bronzer for my crease, fine. But I don't want to have to open all my eyeshadows up to make it a look, or to make a different look from the last look I made with that palette, you know? So for me, this feels like a palette that I'll be using and I won't feel like I'm lacking. There's so many options here. And that's what I love, that I could go into this palette for days or weeks and you would never know that I got it all from the same palette. So I'm really excited to have this in my life now. Yeah, I think I'm gonna use the hell out of this. And that's everything for today. If you like this video, if you want to see more indie makeup content from me, please give me a like and subscribe. It would really mean a lot to me. And thank you so much for being here.